activating rather than sinking into the body, we can actually create more stability. And by creating more stability, we're going to have better control over our movements and our active range of motion, as well as create strength and a healthy environment for our joints. So if you're looking to advance your practice quicker, stabilizing rather than just going for pure flexibility is going to be your best bet. And we can do that through hand to core and foot to core connections and activations. We'll use these in a second in a Sun Salutation A, just so you can see how we do this. But let's look at the foot to core connection. Standing in that mountain pose, let those feet connect with the ground beneath you. To create that activation, we're going to externally rotate those legs away from the center line of the body. We can do this by imagining our feet are glued to the ground, but we're trying desperately to click those heels together. And as you can see, my thighs are turning away from my body. If you do this, turning it on and off a couple of times, you'll notice that you feel activation all the way up the inseams into that lower core. We can do that same process with the hands. Coming into our tabletop position, we can try this out, gluing those hands into the ground, and then we externally rotate those arms. By dialing them away, those hands stayed glued to the ground, but we're just creating that dialing out motion. What that does is that's going to create a broader base of support across those shoulders, and we're not going to be hanging on those joints. So let's run through a Sun Salutation A. Anytime those hands are on the ground, we're going to dial away and activate. And anytime those feet are on the ground, we're going to dial away and activate. And when we get to our down dog, we're going to do both. So here we go. Let's start in mountain pose. Plant those feet into the ground. Feel connected. We can lift and spread those toes. Dial those legs away. Take a breath here. Let's bring those arms up overhead. Those legs stay nice and active. Hinge at those hips and fold it in. As we activate, we aren't locking out any joints, so we can still bend into those knees if we need to. Those feet are still dialing away. Hands come to those shins, half lift. Again, those feet are still active. Fold it back in. Plant those hands and step those feet back. Now those hands dial away. And we can still stay dialed if those knees are lifted or landed. And wherever we're at, hands dialed away. Keep those elbows tucked in. Lower all the way down to the mat. Hands are still active as we lift into our cobra or up dog. Sink that chest back down. Press into those hands and back. Tuck those toes under. Lift the knees, lift the hips, and come into your down dog. Those hands are still dialing away. And now that we are on those feet again, we're going to glue those feet into the ground, even if those heels are slightly listed, and dial those legs away. Really changes that down dog. Step those feet forward. Now those feet dial away and activate in that forward fold. Hands come to the shin, half lift. Fold it back in. Feet are still dialing away. Slowly roll it up, one vertebrae at a time. So as we can see, if we practice that a couple of times, those hands and those feet might start to get pretty tired. But we know that we are stabilizing the body through active tensioning and tapping into that core. So we have full body stability as we move through our full circle of poses. If you're looking for more information and drills on our hand activation and our foot to core activation, check out the free stuff library.